For episode 1, we're leaving the mountains behind, heading down to Riverfront Park in Little Rock along the Arkansas River. Let's see what they have to say.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin? I'm Charles.
Charles, first question is, what's the core reason today that our government feels more responsive to powerful individuals and corporations rather than to everyday citizens?
That's a deep, profound question you asked there, Kevin. I'm not sure how to go about tackle that one. You took me for a doozy on that one. Me personally, I say you really can't get caught up in the government because they're going to do what they do. Me personally, you do have good politicians that are out there are trying to do the right thing for the people. But then you also have a few rotten bad apples that make it virtually impossible to make a decent living. So my personal take on it is you do what you can to make the best of the situation.
My opinion is that it's about power, and the ones who have the highest money can influence better than the ones who don't have nothing. And the poorer you are, I feel like the less of a citizen the world can associate you with.
I think we're kind of, I don't know, I think we've come to a place in time where we kind of care more about the wrong things than we do the right things. And we I don't know, I think we're a lot more invested in getting things and building things instead of helping the people and getting things to the people. You know what I mean? I think we're just really going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? I think every step we take is farther towards the wrong direction. We're taking less care of the people and more care of everything around the people instead.
They always point where the money is. So if they just leave normal people alone, I think we'll be in a hell of a lot better place.
It's searching for power. Most people in power search for more power because power in and of itself is the fundamental part of society and what humans have created as society. Therefore, anything without power is essentially useless.
I have an answer. Hello. They are definitely profit-driven. A lot of their pockets are lined by companies and whatnot and lobbyists and stuff. I don't really feel like getting into it, but yes, our government is bought out. Thank you.
Exactly what she said. It's all about the money.
They're treating America as if it is something that is a business and not a democracy.
Instead of America being a country for the people, it is a country for corporations. Thank you.
And do you think this was built into the system from the beginning, or things developed over time?
I don't. I think it just happened over a point in time where people could be influenced and just split everybody up in the country. So I think once everybody kind of comes together and realizes we're living the same life and need the government to stay out of our lives, I think we'll be a lot better.
It's been since the beginning. Society was created with the strong in mind. If you think back to most of the beginnings of history where society starts to take place, you have kings, you have lords, and then you have the peasants and the farm workers. Even further back, when it comes to the cavemen, you had the leader. No matter what, you had a leader. And then you had the people who did not matter. So in general, most of the time, it never really stopped.
Because when we brought the African Americans across as slaves, it was to dominate the land as comparison to when we killed the Native Americans around here to colonize them and try to whitewash them. So at the beginning, I do believe it was all about the power, which I think it did start off as greed.
Well, I'm going to say this based on my knowledge of history. This is probably millennials of centuries of planning. You know, this is not just this particular administration, that particular administration, right. Republican, Independents. To me, the system is all the same. You know, when you talk about right wing and left wing, it's the same bird. They flying in the same direction. So when you look at it that way, you got to take your feelings out of it. It's a system. You learn the rules, play the game, and you manage through it.
So what do you think really runs the country today? And what rules of the game do they use to maintain their control?
The ones with power aren't the ones on the screen. The ones with power are the ones who control the ones on the screen.
Honestly, we control it, but we just haven't tapped into the real power that we have. We have the power to control the money. We have the power to control what we see. We just haven't tapped into it. And it's a lot of people that don't want to suffer the consequences of it because of the hierarchy. It's a lot of people that have power and that they can do things undercover.
I really think, yeah, it's like, as most people know, it's more of like the 1%, of course, and like the people with more money, they're getting benefited more these days than any other percent. And I think anybody that has any like social pull or monetary pull or already felt like they had a hand in the pocket, foot in the door, I feel like those people are what's changing it. Like those people are getting more into government, more into policy, like the people that share those ideals are bringing more of those types of people in. And so like I feel like it's spreading, and it's not going away, it's just continuing to spread.
Billionaires, trillionaire, the trillionaire right now.
Definitely. People with money are influencing our people.
I'm gonna say the main thing that I truly see for us, the world itself, the greatest thing that the devil can play on us, divide and conquer and confusion. And so when you have divided division, just like me and you, we're a different race, no matter what it is. But for some odd reason, the system is designed to keep us separated, whether it's ideology, race, religion, demographics, socioeconomics. It's a whole array of things that keep us divided and separated.
Well, honestly, I don't know who runs it, but kind of wish they would stop and just let us live free like we're supposed to.
Right? Instead of just voting every few years, what other practical mechanisms could help give people more influence over politicians or institutions?
I think getting active in your like community, because there's so much stuff going around you. You have local politicians, you have stuff going on with like your local parks, your local schools. And I think like the more action you take where you are, like the more it spreads, and maybe the more people that would be willing to do that, like go to your, going to local city council meetings and like actually reaching out to your community. And maybe it could spread community to community if people would actually like do that, like reach out and see what you can do where you are.
I mean, revolution. But the revolution will not be televised. So
I feel like do what you got to do.
Expand on that. What do you mean?
the revolution begins when people are tired, not when they're worried about other people. And I think right now we're very comfortable with where we are. They've pacified us to the point where we don't really care. Capitalism, our phones, our social media, it's pacified us to the point where we get outraged for a moment, but then we move on.
These things, people just get out and vote and find somebody that's really going to get out and work for us.
Yeah, someone for the people.
Yeah, and just quit worrying about Democrats, Republicans, and just find somebody that just works for the people.
Honestly, I'm more of a at-will type of person. So it's like, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to promote. I'm going to make sure that the things that I know that I can control, I'm putting forth effort to it. I'm not going to keep trying to convince other people to. So I really don't have an answer to that question specifically. Because anybody, they're not going to want to participate in the development of people gaining and getting our resources that we deserve as human beings. So if I keep fighting for it, I think that is what matters most, if that makes sense. Because my community, our people, we're going to do it, and then maybe it can pass on. But I don't know.
Any economic policies we could implement to give workers and small businesses the fair ability to compete against these massive mega corporations?
Texas, man. Texas is probably the biggest draw of it all, man. But the main thing is financial literacy. So if you teach financial literacy from grade school all the way up to the collegiate level, you probably can minimize, or I guess what you can say, help alleviate that socioeconomic that you're talking about. So
Yeah.
I can't even think about no economic policies right now. I done took like 10 shots, smoked 3 months.
All right.
I do know that like local businesses and like those kinds of things, like they need, like right now I feel like we're doing tax stuff that benefits the exact opposite. And things like that, like monetarily, we're not supporting those kinds of things. We're expecting them to do it by themselves and then being like, why didn't you do it? Why didn't it happen? You know, we have like businessmen, you know, and then we're not supporting actual business people trying to have a business.
Well, when it comes to most things, and I've looked into this myself, it's access to money. You have to work for your money, and there in turn, you also got to give your money to get the work to get the money. Therefore, it's a broken system.
It's a loop that we're stuck in.
If you can find a way to break the loop, you can also find a way to climb. If you can't break the loop will continue.
So where do you think there's a real changes happening right now on a local level that most people haven't heard about?
We've been trying to find that ourselves because most of the common ones, which are food banks and shelters and things like that, aren't always available in certain places. And on top of that, the people you thought you could trust, like within the government, who say they can help, sometimes will just ignore you or pretend they don't have help at all.
Yeah, that only complicates things.
Sadly, not that I could say like currently, not in like my current community, but thankfully I know like, at least more than a handful of people like me, like-minded, that would like to see improvement in like the community itself. I hope for more change locally, you know, but right now I don't feel like there's too much going on.
What do you think people misunderstand about how power really works, and how does that misunderstanding help the people on top?
I think they've made it to where we feel like we don't have as much power as we do. So, I mean, again, with January 6th, like, is a prime example. Like, they were able to get into the Capitol. They were able to do what they did, and they weren't stopped. We could do the same thing if we were able to align with each other, but we're not able to align with each other. We're too worried about race, class, gender, small niche topics and issues that don't really, small things that won't matter 10 months from now, 3 weeks from now.
Well, when it comes to power is seen as multiple different things. In the eyes of children, power is a superpower. But in the eyes of adults, power is the sign of money, power is the sign of position, and power is the sign of what they can do to you and nobody else. The biggest example of that would be cartels and mafia, because they have taken that to the extreme. However, in the shadows, it would be politicians and people within the government, because they do have the power.
great question. It's an illusion. The people at the top control everything. They basically do what they want. But me personally, as far as we're voting and voting that right person in there, I mean, really, man, they say everything flows down, but I really don't think it flows down. I think it really pretty much stays at the top, and if you're one of the lucky ones to benefit from it, you benefit from it.
So what role do you think that technology or independent media, social platforms, maybe you organizing, what role could that play in helping to build the people?
I think like social media is so like, it's like what you get is biased to like what you want, you know what I mean? You get what you're looking for, you know what I mean? And so I feel like if you have like, I don't even want to say like negative ideals, but if you have like, if you're feeling a certain kind of way about something, you're just probably going to get fed more of that instead of like seeing a different perspective. And I feel like that's something that could be changed by social media, or like could be made more of an effort to like not continue feeding people a negative message. I don't know, like put better messages out there, spread it to more people. Quit having it so like confined to like, you know, you get exactly what you want to see, the things you like, instead of like getting more public outreach or maybe something you never thought of.
AI is kind of like a lot in control right now, so it's kind of scary.
Do you feel like it's getting more powerful?
I think it's getting more powerful, but I feel like the more we know, the more that we can take control. So if we actually participate in knowing what AI is, what it can do, and actually maneuver it, then we'll be able to probably, I think we're smarter. I think America, human beings are smarter than technology. If we actually tapped into the extra 96% of our brain that we have.
There's part of it that we're not using.
So if we could actually tap into it, then it would be better. But I just want to inspire people to live their life how they choose to live it and be good to people, be good to human beings. And I think that's the real answer. Love, life, and laughter, literally.
What you doing now, Kevin? I mean, you out here in the field talking to ordinary people, random people. We just met today, so pleased to meet you. Asking questions like this, just kind of getting a better understanding of what people's mindset is. I mean, this is media itself. This is the new media.
If we could implement that, how long before people would see a change, and what would they notice first?
Honestly, if we had somebody actually in here that cared about us, you'd probably see it almost immediately. But we're going the wrong way.
That's a tough one, man, because change is a mindset. People still stuck in trauma from centuries, generational. So, it may take generations for that change to come. But I think once you start chipping away at it, you get closer and closer to that overall goal.
I feel like change definitely takes a lot of time. It's like a progressive kind of thing where I think people would just have to just start doing it, you know what I mean? And people would start feeling it. Maybe there'd be easier access to medicine. More people have good days than bad days, and that would show for each individual person, whether it takes a few weeks, whether it takes a year, like better access, just those kinds of things. I think it makes small improvements, and if everybody gets small improvement, then there'll be big improvement.
If you were in control and you could implement one new legislation to help shift power to the people, what would you do?
Tax the rich.
Oh yeah, definitely raise taxes.
Put women on top. Women on top. Women on top.
Matriarchy does need to make a comeback, but yeah, definitely taxing the rich.
I know this might sound like a pretty plain law, but I would make mind your own business a very simple thing. So much of respecting someone's opinion, someone's lifestyle, someone's way of life, someone's ways of thinking. Each person is their own person, and that they should be seen that way and not tested.
I think personally it would be something around protecting overall physical and mental health. Then we're not sure who should have what say over what they have going on, but I feel like people should have a lot more autonomy when it comes to physical and mental health. You know what I mean? I feel like something around that, in the premise of just making sure people have the ability to take care of themselves more than they do now.
I would probably look into the core issues of problems. When it comes to society as a whole, we need to stop the hierarchy from letting people go too far. And too far in the sense of poor, of no food. As for the other spectrums of it, we need to make sure all humanity and all animals have food. If you do not have that taken care of, you will have an endless cycle. And on top of that, when you go to social media, if you don't have the honesty, if you don't have compassion, and you don't have the ability to speak, then you will have more problems down the road. That's what I have run into.
The very first thing I would do is reparation for Black people. I think that's a missed opportunity for America to really heal, because Black people never got a chance to fully heal from the trauma of that, and it's centuries and generations of trauma still passed down. And so I feel like with the right education and the right reparation that goes along with that, for me, I'm gonna say the Black American would be in a better position, and as a whole, America would be in a better position. That's just my take on it. Everything else, we pretty much making sure that equality is pretty much across the board is fair.
Also, I'll just make where people's free, just where you don't have to worry, just worry about doing your normal everyday life stuff.
Okay, that was episode 1. Little Rock definitely brought in some interesting perspectives, and the data is in. Outside elements are always impacting our perspectives, but the human element is always in play. Leave your own answers to the 10 core questions in the comments down below, and we'll see you at the next stop.